Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na number 27 day for the month of December 2021. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonia Governing Council, aka Sense Pass King.
Capo Daniel.
This one na a special edition for my daily podcast in a series of educational material to help define the various movements within the Ambazonian Liberation War. Today, we will tackle the issue for define the IG care of Siseko Ayoktabe.
Kabo koi témoin, maman koi témoin, maman koi té oui, maman koi témoin, maman koi oui, côté si, côté oui, côté dou, côté oui, côté si, côté oui, côté dou, côté oui. Ah maman Wali. Maman côté oui, maman côté con, maman côté oui.
Welcome, all our IDPs, all of our refugees, our people in the diaspora at home and abroad. Welcome to this special edition of my podcast. Fellow people of the British Southern Cameroons, citizens of Ambazonia, this one na an educational material not to be mistaken for a response in the ongoing public debate within the Ambazonian Governing Council and the IG care. For our last presentation, we present to you the IG, the splinter IG group of Sako Ikome. Today, in this episode, we are going to present to you the IG care, the IG of Siseko Ayoktabe. What is the IG? The meaning for IG means na say interim government. The IG na a group, an organization headed by Siseko Ayoktabe. Wetin the IG it talk about themselves. The IG it claim for be the government for Ambazonia, and their leader Siseko Ayoktabe it claim for be the head of state of Ambazonia, the president, as they call him. The IG he also claim for be the representation of all the groups them for Ambazonia. The IG he also claim say na he speak on behalf of all Ambazonia and all other organizations for inside Ambazonia. They need to dissolve themselves and then can join them because them being a government in the way they see them. Today in this my podcast, I will give you the facts which are undisputed as educational material for our people them for listen and for understand, for be capable, for make up their own mind and align themselves with which way they think say be better, for help them execute their ambition and their aspiration for a free and independent Ambazonia. The IG of Siseko, it get very big claims. One, na say them being a government, they represent all Ambazonians, na a people's IG, and their leader it be elected by Ambazonians them as the head of state. Okay, these are the facts. The IG, as it talk say, it represent all Ambazonian and all groups them. Indeed, the IG be created, or in a better way for put them for our people, they need to understand, the IG comes from the creation of a joint platform. It find a root, a precedent, place where you come out now for an intended joint platform. For look the documents from the genesis where you create the IG, now for go back to the founding documents of Skakuf. When this struggle it be start by the common law lawyers, it eventually include all the various sector them for inside Ambazonia. They be create the Consortium where it be represent the voices of the various sector them for our country, where they be the rise up against Cameroon for the consequences or the symptoms them for the recolonization of our territory by Cameroon. The Consortium it will be headed by Agbobala, that way they be catchy, and the Cameroon government ban the consortium, thereby giving no hope or no space for our people to organize themselves and to represent themselves. The leadership for the consortium, where they no be catch them, they be run across the border. The leadership be transferred for Tapang Ivor and Mark Barata. Eventually, senior members of the consortium like Tasang Wilfred, they become for inside Nigeria and they be transferred back authority. So Tasang Wilfred became the head of the consortium. I go play some audio for Tasang Wilfred, make una understand the mindset of the consortium and the leaders that be at that moment, so that make una know very well how things that they unfold. This speech, Tasang Wilfred, his first speech that will be emerged from hiding after the arrest the member them for the consortium, including Agbobala. This was his first speech.
That we have decided to sacrifice our lives for this cause, and that nothing will stop us until we cross the victory line. We are not a rebel group. We are intellectuals. Intellectuals don't go out to destroy, to kill. We work to bring life and to bring harmony. To appeal to our community to continue to listen to them. We want to particularly appreciate Tapang Ivo and Mark Barretta for coming on board timely to accept the assignment that the consortium gave them, whilst we were aware that the worst was coming. Everything we do, we should shun violence. Violence is not in our culture. Our parents did not get independence through fighting wars. They got it through negotiations, frank discussions, and we shall get justice through the same route. We want to appeal that for no reason in the world should the ghost towns that were scheduled by the consortium on Mondays and Tuesdays collapse. We must continue every Monday, every Tuesday, whether we receive further communication on this issue or not, until we cross the victory line.
So that was Tasang Wilfred. As Unafi hear very well, this was leaders who would never believe in violence or war. But as soon as we realize, even then, me, Capo Daniel, as an independent activist, we realized that we could not even safeguard the integrity of the ghost town, because sooner or later, Atanganji Po brought in people from Mbunda into vans of Amumezam in their thousands and flooded the Commercial Avenue to make sure that they would misrepresent the ghost town to the Cameroon public, that there was nothing like ghost town going on. And then we started realizing that we actually could not do anything without violence. That is when I also engaged in the people in Alabo camp. At that time, I did not even know that they are ADF. Most of those fighters there, we started to engage them and tell them, you guys have to stop these people. And they had to use force to stop the Atanganji Paul with the people he brought in from Bunda. That is how we started engaging in violence, because even though the consortium and the people that were there were talking about non-violent, there was no way we could enforce what they were saying without a form of violence. There were students that called us from schools that their parents even were bringing them to school against their will, and they wanted to stop. There was no way we could have even uphold what the consortium was saying without a level of violence. And sure, indeed, we did do what it takes to defend the integrity of what they were demanding until the first conclave, where they gathered and they now invited all the various nationalist movements to create the SCACUF. But it be important, ma inform una say, the time where they want to take over the power from Mark Barata and Tapang Evo, it be also be a problem. And the same cycle of problem with the same for the IG today, it be very important. Maybe people they know that. I go play an audio for Tasang Wilfred. It go tell una that way then transfer power for Mark Barata and Tapang Evo. Then too they be decided they go better destroy everything than for hand back power. They be even go expose the hideout of Tassan Wilfred. That way they be there for Nigeria. Now the same thing we will see them today. How even the splinter IG, they need one give back power for Siseko. They even try for set it up Mila Republic, then kill it. So these are very important education for our people to understand how things have evolved. When I listen to Tassan Wilfred when they be take power back for Mark Barata and Tapang Ivor.
That these two gentlemen are no longer part of the consortium. They cease to be members of this organization from now henceforth.
Dear people, I think we should have started by granting you our sincere apologies. But you know that in a struggle like this one, there are room for errors, and when errors are made, we have the duty to correct them. These are two young people that we thought had this struggle at hand. But we have, over the months, discovered what they really care about is power and absolute power to destroy. We have tried our best to accommodate them, and we have failed woefully. Like you have been witnesses in Mark Barra's video or Facebook communication live. They have been over the years or over the months been struggling to expose the leadership of this struggle, to destroy the struggle, and yesterday he did it. But we are not perturbed, even as he has exposed that we are in Nigeria. But what he has done at the end is expose himself. If a man enters the coffin and sends one hand outside and begins to nail his coffin, then we have no choice. He has nailed his coffin, and we have taken cognizance of the fact that he has nailed his coffin. And that is the end of him. That is the end of Tapang Ivor as far as the consortium is concerned in this struggle.
So that is how the things unfolded. I'll cut, because of time, and I'll cut this episode into two. So una see, from the time where this particular initial uprising be start with the common law lawyers, it be start with Harmony Bogba. We convoke all lawyers, them then come vote, then for create the common law bar association for all our lawyers them. It be they carry the struggle to go up well articulate, but then be fail for follow any protocol or any precedent. Agbobala way be the oppose Harmony Bogba within the system for a long time, decide on his own for look like-minded people them for create the consortium, and they only inform Harmony Bogba about their decision. So now say they be taken hijack which we Harmony Bogba start create the consortium. That way the one catchy the consortium transfer the leadership for Tapang Ivor and Mark Barata, then to take them, then deny for give power. They no respect the hierarchy of the executive of the consortium, and then they will be fired as well. That way they will be fired, then to be the dynasty, they never be fired. Tassan Wilfred, it try to seek a better way than to bring all men together for create an all-inclusive group where you go include all man. More importantly, it will include all the nationalist group them way they began already the fight about Southern Cameroon, their justice and their right for exist as an independent state will predate this particular uprising. So una go be the judge, independent judge, for judge whether the decision to create the SCACUF was because Tassan Wilfred, his authority was being undermined by Mark Barata and Tapang Ivor, and he tries to gather more people to support him to create something better, or it was driven by his plan or the plan for help secure the interests of our people, where they be the rise up against Cameroon. Such consideration of the mindset of leaders is very important for our people to know. If we don't know where we have made mistake, we cannot know how to build institutions in the future that will protect our state against such mistakes. So you have people that have been given authority by the consortium, refusing to give back power, just becoming power mongers, and being willing to destroy the life of people who have legitimate claim to that power structure. Also, the Cameroon government, we then ban Southern Cameroon and the no assemble together, it then refuse our rights of political participation within their system. One of the conditions with the Banjul court ruling, it be then prohibit them. Tassan Wilfred, as the leader of the consortium at that point, be get no other choice for engage with the government way it then banned and describe our activities for organize ourselves as terrorism, subvention of state authority, decide now for follow the other option where they be done state them for the document them for this for SCACUF and the common law lawyer. So we want independent or federalism. The option for federalism, it will come to an end with Cameroon declaration, say for call for federalism, na a subvention of state power, na secession, and na act of terrorism. So for carry on the next stage, for fight for independence, when the second option, Tassan Wilfred decide to invite all the groups the nationalist group, the way they be fight for Southern Cameroon independence, meaning come together so that they will form one group with them together, they will fight for the interest for our people for independence. When the vast majority of our people, the aspiration, EBB. In the next episode, I go bring una the creation of the joint platform, all-inclusive platform, SCACUF. For throw una a little bit, SCACUF, if you look their documents in their Twitter and their Facebook page where they create IDC existed today, and their documents it show all the group their flag them and their symbol where they create them. It talks say SCACUF na a broad-based movement that unites all organizations which seek the restoration of the statehood of Southern Cameroons. The complete meaning for SCACUF na Southern Cameroons Ambazonia Consortium United Front. Now from this organization where the IG will be born from, so the IG is supposed to be a transform platform, unified platform where all the organization where they create SCACUF then did. So now a unity between the civil society, the Southern Cameroon Consortium, and the Ambazonian Front, which are the groups that make up SCACUF. These are the groups that are supposed to make up of the IG. I'll read them for their documents as a day for day. All the SCACUF document, it carry a list of all their groups already form them, and the founding document, it also include their signatures for day. I go choose for read the member them for the organization, as in the documents signed by Atta Milan, who was the Secretary General of SCACUF. Number 1. The Cameroon Civil Society Consortium. That means that the consortium group. Number 2, Southern Cameroon National Council. That means SCNC. Number 3, Republic of Ambazonia, ROA. That the group for Gojidinka. Number 4, Southern Cameroon People's Organization. That is Capo. Now the group then that way then did it. Number 5 group, now Ambazonian Governing Council, AGC. That means now the AG of C, headed by Dr. Cho Ayaba. The next one listed under those documents, now the movement for the restoration of the independence of Southern Cameroon, Maurice, led by Bo Herbert. And the last one, and not the least, is Southern Cameroon Youth League, led by Ebenezer Akwanga. So totally, these are the 9 organizations, the 9 groups that created SCACUF, that was transformed into the IG, or that was supposed to be transformed into the IG. These are the founding documents. It is all in the founding documents of SCACUF. I will continue with the presentation in the next episode. God bless you. God bless you. Capo Daniel, signing off. Mama Walian, 43, 40 week, 42, 40 week, 44, 40 week, 42, 40 week, 1.